So my name is Chloe Kirkpatrick. I'm 23. And the first, super memorable crush is this girl in my 6th grade class who was one of my friends. And her name was Brooke. And, I was pretty much, terrified of having a crush on her because she was a girl. And I was sort of, at the time, waiting to get a crush on a boy. And I eventually realized I never would. But the crush on Brooke was kind of awkward because she was my friend and she was a girl, and I definitely knew we weren't going to be 6th grade girlfriends because that didn't happen. So I eventually wrote her this note that didn't mention the crush at all, but I told her I'm going to be in band in 7th grade and you're going to be a cheerleader, so we probably shouldn't be friends anymore because those social groups don't mix. So that was mean, but I was trying to kind of save myself, I guess. So it was awkward overall and not not great, but yeah. Well, there are some odd drunk things in college that weren't really meaningful in any way. So my first real kiss was Val, my girlfriend. So, for a while in college, I guess, Tinder didn't exist yet, and, I didn't have an iPhone, but I had a profile on OkCupid, and I guess I pretty much, really wanted a girlfriend, but, OkCupid was definitely not the way for me to find someone to date. I never really even messaged anyone, or, I would just go look at it, and I would work on making my profile look really awesome, making myself sound cool, but then I didn't want to, talk to anyone on there, so the internet, especially for me, is definitely not gonna work out, because I'm just, too awkward for it.
God.
The best date I've ever had, I think Val mentioned it in her interview. But, we didn't really have, a time when we were dating. We just had a time when we were, becoming really close friends and hadn't really talked about, being together at all. But I remember she showed me an episode of The X-Files, and I fell asleep during it. But I remember it being a really nice, just, hanging out with Val time, which I kind of consider was our dating time, but we weren't really officially dating. We were just hanging out a lot. But the time she showed me The X-Files, which she loves, so it's meaningful. I don't know if I've been on, a worst date, because I have never really, officially dated someone. Will you go out on a date with me? And other than Val, I never even had, friends who I was hanging out with who it might turn into something. I just had my friends. So I really luckily don't have any sort of horrendous date experiences. I didn't date anyone in high school, and I'm sure I'd have bad experiences to share if I did, but not going out with anyone in high school, I think, sort of saved me from awkward dates. Luckily. Well, I had crushes on people in high school, and even as early as that first crush, where I was always sort of scared to have a crush on someone because I generally didn't know any other gay girls, in the town I grew up in. So if I had a crush on someone, I knew they probably didn't reciprocate, and they might think I was super weird if I had a crush on them. So it was always kind of an unpleasant thing when I was younger, but in college, when I realized I had feelings for Val, was, not until, the moment she expressed it to me by, trying to kiss me. I was kind of, really clueless about it, but then it just, immediately fell into place. So, that was nice. Just, realizing that someone likes you and you like them back, and it's gonna go somewhere. So I guess just nice is how it feels. The first trait that attracts me to someone. I'm not sure. I think having things in common and having things you can immediately talk about and being able to have, like, sort of easy conversations with people is attractive. But then, like, if they're exactly like you, that's not necessarily going to be attractive. So having things in common, but then being able to uncover more about them is exciting. Heartbreak. I don't know if I've ever had, like, a major heartbreak. But the first thing that comes to mind is I had a lot of friends in college who I sort of suddenly stopped being friends with. And it's like the closest thing to a breakup that I think I've experienced, even though it wasn't romantic in nature. It was just a friendship thing. And it felt extremely bad. So, like, that's my best description, is just feeling sort of, like, lost. Because people who have been there aren't there anymore. And even if you're, like, mad at them, you still miss them. Even if you mutually wanted to not be around a person anymore, you're still gonna, like, miss what you're used to. And that's an awkward and unpleasant place to be in. So, again, just going for the friend breakup thing, I think I didn't really know what to do. Like, I've never really had a routine, and instead just sort of, like, I don't know, eventually got over it. I don't know how exactly, but it happened eventually. I have been in love, for sure. I definitely say that I'm in love with Val. Yeah. Yes, I have been. I think loving two people in the same time, I don't know. I don't think that I could be in any type of, like, polyamorous situation. Even though I do think that you can have love-type feelings for more than one person, I don't see myself ever being in a situation where I'd have, like, strong, romantic, want to be in a relationship feelings for more than one person. But, like, I can love people in different ways. Like, I have platonic love for plenty of people, and, like, familial love and stuff like that. So I think you can spread the love around, but I don't think I could be in a relationship with more than one person. It would just be overwhelming. Okay, love. Love means to me, definitely when you miss someone a lot when they're not around. Like, I remember when Val and I were in our sort of, like, dating, but not officially dating, but being really close situation, she would come stay at my house for, like, a couple days at a time in, like, a completely platonic way. And, like, I mean, we weren't, like, sleeping together or anything. Like, she would just come stay over at my apartment and we'd hang out for a long time. And one time she left without really even saying anything. Like, she just sort of, like, was leaving, and I was, like, really sad that we didn't, like, say goodbye, and I, like, ran to the door and was like, bye, and, like, felt like I really needed to say bye. And I think that was a very, like, early love moment of, like, she'd been gone for, like, 10 seconds, and I was like, where'd she go? I want her back. So, yeah, definitely, like, wanting someone around and, like, feeling depressed or sad when they're not around. That's a big part of love. That sounds too simple, but, like, a very specific feeling of, like, I really want this person in my life. I think especially when I was in college, I was, like, I guess around 19, 20, I, like, really wanted to be with someone, felt like I wanted to be in a relationship, and then when it happened, it felt like it was almost out of nowhere, but I had sort of already resigned myself to, like, not being with someone, and felt like I'm just not gonna have love, which sounds ridiculous now, like, like, write off love at age 19, but, like, I felt pretty sure that it just wasn't gonna happen for me. So, like, you might not expect it, and if you haven't had it yet, don't get too stressed about it. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And it might surprise you, and that'll be nice too. So, like, don't worry about it too much. Like, focus on, like, friend love and family love and that sort of thing. And romantic love can happen when you don't expect it. So.